Again. Greetings, Earthlings. We are going to shoot a video today on adjusting the forward and reverse cable on a BCS with a hydro transmission. This is a model 779. This procedure also applies to the 770 and the 660, all of which use the same hydro pump assembly. So the forward and reverse lever, of course, on the handlebars is this guy here. That controls not only the speed of travel by pushing it forward more or pulling it back more, but it also controls the direction. The center is kind of the neutral position. Now, as with most of the current, well, as with all of the current BCS machines, the direction of travel is related to the handlebar position. That is, on this 779, for example, if I've got the handlebars oriented in this mode here, which is the tilling or soil working mode, where you're going to have rear-PTO implements on the tool or on the tractor, if I push this lever forward, the tractor will go forward. If I pull it to neutral, it'll stop. If I pull this lever back, it'll come backwards. Okay, well, now when I turn the handlebars around so that we can mount Front-PTO implements, mowers, snow removal equipment, whatnot, then I have to use this lever backwards. I have to pull it back to go forward, I have to push it back forward to go back. That gets a little confusing, but you get used to it pretty quick. The problem we've discovered, though, is that with the hydro drive machines, since this isn't just your forward and reverse directional lever, as it is on the other gear drive tractors, like on a 749 or an 853, for example, it's just two positions, forward or reverse. So you can get used to that pretty easily in terms of rotating the handles around and figuring out which one is which. But with this tractor, it's also your speed control, because the more you push it, the more incrementally that hydro drive is going to drive you at a faster rate of speed. And what we found is that for mowing applications, the 770 and 779, having this sort of reverse setup on them for the mowing mode, that is when you're mowing, you're using this control backwards, that becomes a safety hazard because, for example, you're trying to go in and out of a brush patch with your brush mower or flail mower, and you're backing the machine up and you're on bad footing, you may be tripping over things on the ground, and if you stumble, I mean, here you're pushing forward to go back a little bit, but if you stumble and the machine comes back at you and you're not ready for it, your natural instinct is to push against the machine. Well, when you push on this, all of a sudden the machine comes back 3 times as fast because you just shoved it into high gear, and you can run yourself over in a heartbeat. So we're like, okay, there must be some easy way to fix this, and there is. You can, down at the bottom where the cables are hooked up, you can simply reverse the position of the cables. These are your forward and reverse cables, and you can see this is your neutral position right here. This is what is currently reverse. This is what is currently forward all the way. So you can see how those two cables interface with this rotating plate here. This rotating plate goes down, this pivot point goes right down into the hydro. So it is easy enough, just a matter of a few seconds, to reverse these two cables, to reverse the position of them. Now, you probably wouldn't want to do it every time you turn the handlebars around. That would get a little odious. But if, like me, you do more mowing than anything else with your machine, you're probably going to want the control set up permanently for mowing, and you just use it backwards for tilling, because there's no safety hazard using it backwards for tilling. There's a PTO lockout on the machine that keeps you from engaging the PTO while you're in reverse. And when you're doing soil working chores with the thing, you're not likely to get in a bad footing situation or on the side of a mountain or something like this. So we find it's a safer bet to have this control backwards for tilling than it is for mowing. So I'll walk through the procedure here. First thing I'm going to do is take off these little E-clips that hold the cables on. Now I'm going to be smart, and I'm going to take a magnet and put it up against this so that when that clip comes off, it is magnetized to something and the clip doesn't go skittering across the floor. Now, of course, you can do it without the magnet, but after losing a few of those in my lifetime, I learned to know better and use a magnet. You have to advance this one all the way up to be able to get under here and get to this E-clip. Buddy. This one's a little tighter to get to, but it works. Can't see what I'm doing here. What I'm going to do is spin this E-clip around so it's coming off on this side. Oh, thank you, Josh. Josh is running the camera today.
Hello.
Okay, there we go. All right, so the other side, someplace where they'll be easily forgotten. No, I'm just kidding. Now I'm going to loosen up these nuts just a little bit on both sides. Those are 13mm fasteners. And then you're just going to slip this down and out of here. Oh, I'm sorry. You have to take these fasteners. You have to take this one completely off. I forgot about that. So this spins off, and then you can back this out of here, and there's a slot that the cable will drop through and come right out this hole. So, put that one over there. Watch the battery cables. Now that's the positive. I don't want to get anywhere near that, so I'm going to put this over here for now. Let's get this one off of here. Spin the nut off. Drop it out the same slot. Let's bring this one over to the other side. Bring this one up through here, through the hole. Now, what's going to happen is you're going to have to change the position of these adjustments quite a bit. And because everything is kind of bass-backwards now, let's hook that up there. Get this one run back through here. Through the hole. Okay, let's bring this thing, I'm going to bring this the other direction. This little detent ball there kind of holds it in the neutral position, but if you need to rotate this plate, you can shove that down with your thumb and get this thing to rotate. Get this thing pulled out here to where I can get this back on it. More adjustment. Just run that nut up further until you can get both these pegs on. All right, so there we are. Now we'll put these E-clips back on. You can usually shove them on with your thumb, but if not, you can use a long nose pliers. Make sure they're clipped in all the way. Come on, buddy. I can just do it with my thumb. Yep, thumb worked on that one. Okay, now what we want to do is we want to adjust these adjustment bolts here so that when we're, number one, we can achieve the neutral position well, but the most important thing is that this plate, and I should have probably demonstrated this when I had these cables off of here, but anyway, this plate rotates so far and it bottoms out on both ends of its rotation. So we want to adjust this, we want to get these adjustments so that with the lever on the handlebar pushed all the way one way or all the way the other way, this plate is bottoming out in both positions. So let's just kind of see where we are here. I don't think we're going to be too close, but let's just spin our nuts in here and kind of shove it up and back on the handlebars and see what it's doing. Get these just kind of snugged up. Okay, so I'm going to bring this. There's the neutral position on the handlebar. It's kind of the center position, but you can see it's not clicked in here yet. So we're off. So I want that thing to come back a little further. So I need, this was the one bringing it back to the neutral position. So I need a lot more tension on this one. It's got to bring it back further. So let's dial that up. All right, let's push that a little bit. Okay, now when I bring it to the center on the top, I'm hitting the neutral ball. That's good. Let's pull it all the way back. Now, if I can push this a little, see that? I can push that a little further than what the cable brought it on its own. So I need a little more tension on this. So I'm gonna move this, tension this cable just a little more. Have to back off the one nut, tighten the other nut to advance. Basically, you're pushing this bolt out, which tightens the cable. So now I pushed it all the way on the handlebar. Now it's bottomed out. I can't push it any further. Great. Okay, now let's pull it all the way the other way. Can I push this further? Not really. A little bit. So I'm gonna have to tighten this up a little more too. And that you have to watch that you just don't over tighten everything. You know, if you get too much cable tension, I've actually seen a customer do this. He just tensioned these both up all the way, so the cables were essentially fighting each other all the time, and he broke a cable in very short order. Okay, so that's bottomed in that direction. Bottomed in that direction. That one, yeah, I could probably get a tweak more on that one. Yep, that's bottomed. Pushing this way. Yep, that's bottomed. Will not rotate anymore. So you're done. Just do your final tightening here. Cinch everything in place. And now this tractor is reversed. It is going to be, the forward and reverse is going to be accurate in the mowing direction and used backwards for the tilling. And anytime you need to replace the control cable on a hydro model tractor, this is the same procedure you would use for, adjusting in a new cable to get everything centered up. Thanks for watching. Take care.